Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at my in-progress Hellboy cosplay. I started technically this costume about 2 years ago when I started working on the Good Samaritan, his gun, after I found a video on the prop shop, which they don't usually do very much anymore, but that was one of the videos I saw, and at the time I had never seen Hellboy. And I love the gun. I like big guns and stuff, just like the way they feel in your hand, and just like big looking guns like that. So anyway, I made that or started making that gun, and then it sat in my drawers for a long time, and then I finished it this year. And I was like, I'm gonna finish it. And then after that, I was like, oh, I can do something else, and then I just kept going, and then here we are. We got the mask done. I just finished it today. This is a foam mask made out of 5mm, I believe, craft foam. I got the files off of a Facebook group I'm in called like Everything EVA Film or something like that. Or you can probably just search up Hellboy cosplay on Facebook and it should pull it up. The guy who did this, he did an amazing job on it, and I love how realistic it looks. And so that's why I chose it, because there's a lot of masks out there that didn't look anything like Ron Perlman. And this one looks a hell of a lot closer than some of the other ones I've seen. It also gave me a good exchange, like a good chance to try out some new techniques and stuff. Like I tried quick seal for the first time, and like some spots are not the best, but other spots like around the eyes turned out really nice. Especially like for like a foam mask like this, which it was really, I was really impressed with it. And then I just finished the hair on it today. Like you can see, he's got his goatee. And I was able to get these nice curves right here. And I know he doesn't have that in the movie, but he has something similar. And I just one of the wigs I had gotten from a garage sale, it had like an old person wig. So like it started here, and then it had this weird piece of like silicon skin looking thing, and then I had cut that out, and then I just cut some other things, and there's a little tiny piece right here which I glued on to give that curve. And then I finished it today with continuing the line. Now there was a layer underneath already, but it had a weird gap like in the corners on both sides. So then I took, because it was a long wig, the remains of it are over there and there. That one ended up being too curly, so I didn't use it. Anyway, so I took it and then I pulled it into a bun like Hellboy has, and then I trimmed off the bottom a little bit. I gotta do a little bit more work down there, but pretty much done. You can see the other side is identical to it. I was really impressed on how it turned out. Compared to what I've seen a lot of people are doing, I was very happy. Yeah, because I try to do the most realistic I can and screen accurate as I can in my budget and stuff, which isn't, it's not a lot of the time. So that's what I have to do, and I think I've done a pretty good job on it so far. Now we're gonna move over to the coat, which is the second thing I did after completing the Hellboy, the Good Samaritan and stuff. The only thing I don't like about this jacket is that it sticks out when you put it on. You have this little thing, and in the movie, it's more pulled. So I will probably end up gluing it or tacking it or something so it's just closer like that. But if you remove a little bit, you can see I have the duster, which I made out of a another trench coat like this, and I mocked it up with some templates I made custom to this, and then my grandma helped me stitch it. And if you turn it around, you can see, yeah, it was done very nicely. There's my leather patch I did. Sewing did not work as well as I thought, but it still turned out decent. Most of the people that I'll be around will not even know what the difference is, or they won't know I'm screen accurate and stuff. I'm on too hard myself. There's the leather backing. The buckles I will paint like a silver. That's why I didn't worry about painting them entirely. I have all the buckles. They're not secured in place yet, because once I do the Doom, like the Fist of Doom, those will all be set separately now. That's pretty much the jacket. I did give it, because this was with the original color and it was too light for me, so I darkened it up with a caramel and a brown, and around the bottoms you can kind of see there's like some dirtiness and stuff. I used like a rust color, I used a hammered metal, and I used a black just to like darken the crap out of it, just to look like it's been worn, it's been through the streets. Now I could probably use some more, but that's okay. That'll be all good. I will probably doing a foam chest, so I can just get like so I can get the like the glyphs or like the carvings he has in his chest like up around here to like kind of go onto the fist, and that may also like Velcro like to this, like a Velcro on, to keep it like so it's like sealed and then like hidden and stuff. And I will probably paint my neck with like makeup and around my eyes as well, so it goes more fluidly through from that. Now onto the belt, which I completed a few days ago. It's probably about 95% complete. I have to make the buckle symbol, the silver and red BBRD logo that goes right in the middle of the belt. Everything else is done. As you can see, I have sacrificed several belts. It took me a long time to find a lot of belts. This one is for the leg, and it is the right size, right color, right stitching. Everything is perfect about this belt, except for it's a little bit too long. So I cut it down to the right size, re-put on the buckle that I originally came with, which matched. So this was really awesome to have this. And still, I have a good chunk of leather that's nice and thick. This is a cross sample of one of the main belt, because the main belt is made up of several different belts. Even the one in the film I saw had is two back ear belts. And if you think about it like this, here's another cut off, but you have the two big belts, which is like about, I think they're like an inch belt or something. Then the middle belt straddles the middle of it, and so it gives it that appearance of it being a wider belt. And I sandwiched some of the things that are on the belt in between that, it was some like barge, so it allowed me to keep them in there and stuff. But this is a cross section, so I put some on the back as well, just to give it the extra stability, and it turned out pretty good. I did weather them with some browns, some light browns, some reds, and I also used the buckles off of the two belts I sacrificed for here, because when a buckle comes apart, you have the latch thing that's on here, and then you have a roller bearing pretty much that's on here. And so I just cut it right here, and then I use these parts, which you'll see on the buckle in a minute, to create the rest of the buckle. Now here is the belt. It is not 100% done, like I said. I actually forgot I also need another thing on here, and I may add a few more things. As you can see, we'll start with the buckle. The buckle was a challenge just because of its weird shape, and I didn't want to use a normal buckle. So I took the existing belt where it would have had the buckle originally. I slid it on the sides where the sewing were, and I re-glued it after. This is made out of thin aluminum piping that I had to go through about 3 different generations of this belt, and this one may still get another redo at some time. I can see there's some hot glue, which I don't particularly like, but I may end up taking that off and putting super glue in, because I just got some. I used both of the buckle little latches. They fit the belt pattern, which I had to make with a wood burner, exactly, and then they hold, so that's pretty good. There's the top of the buckle right there. I embedded it down this pipe and then to this one a little bit, and I used a piece of wire just to pull it together so like it didn't pull apart. That's pretty sturdy. This belt buckle is probably the sturdiest one I made. I made a wire one out of this wire. Didn't really like it that much. Made a second one out of this one, completely out of the pipe, except that it split at one of the hinge points. Actually, like the one like the spots right here, it split, and then it split like in the middle up here. So I scrapped that one. I used some of the excess pipe to use these little pieces right here. But I thought I cannot speak today. I'm sorry. I think it worked out pretty well. So there's the main belt right here. Like I said, it's made up of 3 belts. There's 2, and you see some of my barge right there. And then the middle one is sandwiched. Now, I glued from probably around here to here, and a little bit after here on both sides so I could sandwich these things. So they're kind of loose still, which I kind of wanted, but at the same time, this belt is very strong. I made the locator just out of some EVA foam, really quick and dirty. I think I made like in 20 minutes or something. A lot of carving, but it does the job. This is one of the little tassels he has hanging off that has the rosemary. This is actually my actual rosemary that I think works pretty good. I like that it's actually mine. This was a belt that I split down the other side with, so these used to be connected, and I just cut out the holes in the middle, and I just glued it right there, and put a little D-ring on it, so that worked pretty good. These were some green army pouches. I could not find the square ones like he has in the movie, and I was not going to make them. If I do end up finding them, eventually I will use them. But for right now, I do like this look of the little brass knobs on them. And, like, again, no one's going to really know the difference besides I am. Here is the other tassel, which I still need to get a horseshoe for. He has his lucky horseshoe that goes around it. And then here's the... what is this thing called? There's the Good Samaritan, and this is the holster. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, I made this gun off of a YouTube video I found, which I highly suggest going to the prop store and looking at, or the prop shop. It's not perfect, but it's a lot better than some of the things I've seen online. Especially this made out of foam, and then some Sentra, or a PVC board, one of the two. There's a PVC pipe, water bottle cap. There's like a wooden dowel in here to make the hinge. The gun does open up, as you'll see. So, and the barrel does turn if I want. But all pretty good. I was pretty impressed with this one. It's got the little tassel. I ended up weathering the handle and actually liked it a lot better now, because it used to be a really, like a really bright tan, or like a dark or a light brown. That's what I'm looking for. But I'm darkening it up, and because it's supposed to be darker in the film, and it looks like it has some film. I'll probably go over this with some dry brushing with some silver. Maybe not. The gun will probably most of the time reside in the holster. Now this holster, I had a problem making this, because at one point when I was doing research on one of these, I found a picture of a person who was making this, like making nice leather replicas, and I saw it unfolded, and so I saw it looked like. Now, since then, I have tried looking for that same picture, cannot find it anywhere. So I had to look at a whole bunch of pictures, try to remember what it looked like in my head, and then I measured my gun. As you can see, here's some lines. So this is like the back of the gun. This is where the hammer's at. The hammer, and then it goes up, and then there's a little bit more. And so that was pretty much what I did. And then I gave it some space, flipped it, drew it on the other side, and then I cut it out and stuff. Made sure I had enough room. Made the additional little flappy thing. I burnt in the like insignia and like the lines around the back. I will probably have to touch it up again, because I was using green like pleather from a Green Arrow costume I tried to make years ago. It did not work out very well, but it's fine. At the same time, I kind of also do like the green, because it kind of gives it a very worn appearance. It's a lot greener on camera than it actually is in person. But again, this used to be green, and then it was like really light tan. I didn't like it, so I put a whole bunch of brown on it, which turned out actually pretty well. So that's pretty good. And then the Samaritan just slides right back in there. It's a little bit of trouble, but yeah, once you get it in there. And then right there, that is a pin, which my mom had given me. I had a whole bag of these little tiny pins, and so like that way you pull the top, and then like comes off that base, and you have like a little pin you put on your shirt or something. But I just super glued that in there, and so now it's just used as the pin holder, or like the thing so the thing doesn't come off. But yeah, it's pretty good. Now on to this side. So I told you about the holes, which I burnt in with my wood burner. Which if you don't have one, I highly suggest getting. There's a lot of uses for it. I did this. I've done wood carvings. I've burnt stuff in the foam, like down here. A whole bunch of stuff. I was really glad I used that. And then you may wonder why I have Velcro on here. Now the Velcro, in the original prop, the underbelt goes out further than the actual belt does, right here. And same on this side. It comes to about here and then continues out. So on the other side, I have the other Velcro. And this is just in case that this latch right here or this belt buckle, like, if it happens to fail, the Velcro will keep it on and keep it from falling off. The belt buckle shouldn't now, but just in case, and it also makes me a little bit safer and it feels tighter that way. Just so because this thing's kind of heavy, because you got the gun, you got the pouches, and then you got the leg belt. Yeah, and you can see this is what I was talking about. So it was longer. I cut a little slit inside, and I just glued it right there. And perfect. I used barge again. Highly suggest using barge. Original buckle matches the screen. Put some of these little tiny belt holders that came off one of these belts on there just to hold the other end. And that's pretty much all that's gone into it and stuff. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Or if you just enjoy it, you know. I will be posting another video about not making the glove, because there's enough of those out there. I'll probably post a video of when it's done, and me trying to figure out pants, because the leather pants are going to be kind of hard to deal with or find. And maybe making the chest or something. But for right now, this is all I have done, and I hope you enjoy.